Like Us. Marina Franklin here. I am going to be going it alone for a little bit, and then I'm going to be joined by Dave Juskow. Yes. Evelyn is away this weekend. She's in Chicago. She's having a good time. I'm stuck in the house. No, I'm not stuck in the house. I want to keep this going for you guys. Okay. So, don't forget to get your t-shirt. Don't forget to get your Friends Like Us t-shirt. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you do not miss an episode. Okay. All right. Let's show some chat here. I literally just logged on and I'm realizing like I look okay. It's hard. It's difficult because I'm actually looking at myself. But anyway, so Friends Like Us is a podcast that features women of color. Once a month, we do have a guy, kind of like our period. And once a month, we have a white. This month, actually, she's not really a white. Well, I guess she is. Carmen Lynch. She's Spanish. I don't think that counts. Sort of does. But we talk about it on the podcast. So you should listen to the episode because we haven't had her on for a long time. Oh, thank you, Donnell, for saying I look great. I'm very self-conscious today. Today was one of those days where I woke up. I was just like, I worked out. I don't know. I'm feeling a little self-conscious today. So anyway, so joining me is David Juskow, who is also a comedian. You know, let me be honest with you. I'm a lazy booker. And I like to be joined by people who want to come on the show and who have a good time and he's one of my closest friends. And I mean, he's like one of my best friends in comedy. Dave Juskow, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
It was almost a shitty intro. I'm a lazy booker. He's all I got.
Oh, that doesn't bother me at all. I'm confused on when this show starts.
It starts at 3, but in order to grab Facebook, I have to start 15 minutes early.
Oh, okay. So you do want me coming on at 2:45 always?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I was never sure.
Because I was never sure, really. But what happens is I say 3 o'clock because that's when it really starts. Thank you, Donnell. I know it is a horrible intro for a friend, but it's okay. He could take it.
I didn't think it was that bad.
But no, this platform is called Melon. For those of you out there looking for platforms to do like online content,
like me.
I like this platform. It's not that expensive. It's actually very reasonable, and it streams on all these platforms. So it goes to Facebook, it goes to Twitch, and it's going to Patreon right now and on YouTube.
Can you also show other people's faces if you wanted to, if you gave people the link? Like, can they be in the background, like audience members, you might say?
No.
Okay.
They don't have that set up.
You know, that's what I'm looking for because, you know, we're going to do that. We're doing a live Billy Joel watch party on Wednesday, August 18th, where I do that Billy Joel podcast. And because, we wanted to come up with something even whiter than you could possibly imagine. And
than Billy Joel. I used to listen to Billy Joel, though, when I was in high school.
You're not a normal black person, Marina.
I am. That's what you don't know.
I don't know any black people that listen to Billy Joel. I mean, you go to those Madison Square Garden concerts, I don't think you're going to see one in the audience.
There's a ton of black people who listen to Billy Joel. Well, you know what it is?
This doesn't seem like the kind of music that, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but
I mean, we don't choose it.
Yeah.
We don't go, give me that Billy Joel, please.
Right, exactly. Except maybe the Innocent Man album might be a little bit more soulful.
Mr. is here.
50s he said music, and it's based on all black musicians from the 50s.
Donnell says, "Just the Way You Are" is my favorite song of all time. And look at my first name. It's Donnell. See? Don't be stereotyping us.
It's funny. I do a Billy Joel podcast, but I always call that song "Don't Go Changin'." and people get really angry. And I'm like, I keep forgetting it's called Just the Way You Are, because the opening line is "Don't go change it," So I get confused.
Oh,
People are
don't
like, you shouldn't be
go
running a podcast.
changing to try to please me. That's
Right.
Billy Joel. Yeah, we love Billy Joel. One of the things Black people are, Jessica, just so you know, is we're very open minded. We
Late.
love all.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We love all types of music because guess what? It's forced upon us anyway. So we're exposed to a lot of white culture, whether we want it or not. And in Chicago, here's a really good thing to note. Colin Quinn once said that. And yes, I am dropping Colin Quinn's name in this. Colin Quinn once said that Chicago has the best radio stations. So we get like
That's true.
so much variety when it comes to music. And
The
when I was in high
when radio
school,
stations were a thing, because Chicago was the shit. Yeah.
yeah, Kiss FM and all that, And so in Chicago, so we would listen to like all types of it when I was in high school, Billy Joel, Van Halen,
Well, right. That's all they'd play
Billy
on the radio.
Idol.
But think about this. I remember in the 80s when I was on like my college radio station, and you do America's Top 40 or whatever, and it was all they would go by radio by sales. And no, I'm sorry. They'd go by radio airplay and requests.
You
And
getting attacked right now. I just want you to know
I
Arlene
love
is
it.
like,
It
look,
makes me
I
really
listened to
happy.
Billy Joel in high school too, and the
But that's what you
Bangles
said,
and
they
Van
didn't have-
Halen.
But they didn't have the radio stations played mostly white music, like you said. It was forced on you, and because it was based on request and radio airplay. And the funny thing is, when they switched it to, well, that's absolutely true. Black people invented most of the popular music genres in America. That's absolutely true. And then Elvis took it away. But then, when they started basing it on sales, then more black artists came about. More people noticed there was many more. They weren't doing it right. The top 40 list. It was really interesting.
You getting it? I love Billy Joel,
I'm
and I'm melon
glad.
thanks to
I
MTV.
I don't. I
See,
just don't.
you
I
should
didn't.
open up your audience now. You never know.
Good. So we
Let them know when
it's
you're
Billy
doing
Joel
it.
podcast. It's called Billy Joel A to Z, and me and my other white friend Elon Altman do this podcast. It is really fun. We're going through every song. We're idiots. We're on the F's now, and we're like, maybe we took on more than we could chew, but we're having a really fun time. And I wasn't sure if you liked Billy Joel because we have an interview after every letter. We're having Alex Sulkin on next week. We had Dennis Blair on, or he's coming up this Thursday. He's the writer who wrote the movie Easy Money, and he used to open for Rodney back in the day.
Oh, wow.
And I remember because I saw him, how when we were growing up and we always think our teachers.
Look at this.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you. Remember how when we were growing up and we always thought you always think your teachers have to be dead by now, but it turns out they were only 5 years older than us.
I know. I keep thinking, is that one still alive?
Yeah, how could they not? How could they still be alive? But they were only about 5 to 6 years older than us. So that guy Dennis Blair, who opened for Rodney, when I saw him in 1981 at the Garden State Arts Center, I saw him with Mark Cohen at the Comedy Cellar Vegas, and I'm like, wait, that's the Dennis Blair from opening for Rodney? He's still alive? He looks great. And he goes, yeah, he's like 60. And I'm like, really? Like, it was just shocking. And he was a really interesting interview. He was talking about Rodney and Billy Joel and Joe Pesci, because he's in that movie too. It was really fun.
Is that people want to know about?
It's Pac-Man 40th anniversary, and it also has Galaga on it as well. Not Centipede. I tried to get the Centipede one, and they were out of it. I also have this really cool outrun machine. If you know what that is, it's a driving one. And I haven't put it together yet because I wasn't sure if I was getting evicted. So I was waiting.
How do you like that? What is it called? A moratorium?
Yeah. Did they extend it?
I don't think so. I think
September 1st, I'm out. I haven't paid rent in a year.
So you just get kicked out?
Well, then they start the eviction process. So my lease is up in December. I mean, I don't want to move, but if I had to, I'm sure I could stick it out till December, and then I don't know where I'd go. Really,
there's some vacancies up here. You can move to Harlem, white boy. That's what's up.
You know how afraid I was just to stand on your block waiting for you to come outside.
And you go play Billy Joel all you want. It's nothing but white folks.
It's
up
all
in here.
about soul. La la la.
Oh yeah,
also,
that is
can I
true.
just say,
Scooby Doofus.
when you drop
Dice Clay has Bell's palsy.
Really?
Yeah,
That goes away though.
It does.
That's
but
terrible.
He went on stage to talk about it. I guess this is the day and age where everyone wants to be like, and I got this. Hello.
Yeah, thanks to Tig. But by the way, when you're not name dropping Colin Quinn, he's clearly your friend. You've been in specials together. I don't think that's a name drop. Like, it's tough because when I say Sarah Silverman, people are like, "Oh, great name drop." I'm like, "Well, she's like one of my best friends."
I know, but people think you're name dropping. But Colin is like one of my close friends too. But it's like people don't believe it, so I always like, I'm not name dropping.
Nobody ever believes me with Sarah either. No, I really knew her for a long time.
Mr. says, I don't trust anyone with two first names: Billy Joel, Elton John, James Cameron. I would trust Elton John though.
Oh my God, you have to see, you guys.
I love Elton.
You have to see this unbelievable thing on YouTube I just found with the guy who plays Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, and he's interviewing Elton John for a piece they did in 1991, and only for 5 minutes just making fun of his name. Because you don't think you'd be better off with John Elton. And it's so funny. It's so good. It's like 5 minutes long, and it made me cackle out loud multiple times.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah, and it's Elton John, and he's pretending that he's mad. It's clearly set up, and it's a bad ending, but the 5 minutes is so funny. And he goes, "But it is not a proper Christian name."
That is funny.
It's great.
I love sketches like that where they set it up.
Because he's saying, now you have a song called Your Song. Or no, you have a song called Yours or Candle in the Wind. What is that about? Marilyn Monroe or something. He goes, and shouldn't it be Monroe, Maryland by your description of something like that. I don't know.
Yes, really no evictions have been extended 3 months.
For real? Even in New York?
Well, that is something. That's a question.
Boy, that would be great.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of hoping. I hope they keep Cuomo in because he'll keep getting distracted and not make everybody evicted.
I mean, Cuomo is.
Thanks for letting me know that, Mister.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Noise. Where are you from, Mr. Noise? I haven't seen you on here before. And hello, DJ Eric Prince.
Hello, DJ Eric Prince.
Did you see that Paul DJ Paul, I forgot his last name.
Or the one from Jersey Shore?
He passed away. Paul Johnson. Yeah, DJ Paul Johnson passed away.
I can't believe Paul Mooney just passed away. I actually thought he died long before. I didn't realize how old he was. I didn't realize how long he was around. I remember in the 90s when I was, with Caroline's all the time, he was always performing there in the wait staff. Then nobody hated him, but they hated working the show because he'd be there till 5 a.m. and people would just be dozing off, but they'd stay. I mean, that's where Chappelle got his, let's just be here for hours thing. And I didn't realize he was much older than us,
Oh, Mr. Noise, DMV. That's where you're at. And this is my first time checking this out.
You should be working.
Which DMV? What's that's the motor vehicle, right? Which one?
What I thought it was, unless it's something else.
Which one?
Jersey?
Salam alaikum, D. Alaikum salam.
Mr. isn't a name.
You can't come.
Oh, how come?
Mooney.
Oh, I didn't think I said anything wrong.
Oh, did I? You thought he died earlier.
Oh, I did. I didn't realize I thought I had heard something. Maybe I heard he was sick. Maybe that's what it was. So I didn't know. He was a nice guy.
Oh, in the Maryland. Oh, I love Virginia. I think I want to move there, Jessica. It's either that or Vermont.
Okay, so I know you were talking about Vermont. So I used to go to those. Oh, you did, right? You know what I'm saying? Right, exactly. Yeah, it was just bad for the staff, Tamara. It was like the staff was always like, "Oh my God, they're here for hours."
Yeah, he would stay for hours.
Yeah, he'd stay till 5 a.m. He would just keep going. It was amazing. He was brilliant. With Virginia, I just talked to my old girlfriend who moved there, and she says,
"Look, someone's coming. Someone
Chris and Marina never in the same room at the same time as single. Oh, somebody figured it
Oh.
out. Somebody figured
Well,
out your
that's
Clark Kent
because
disguise.
no, that's not. It's not me.
Oh, of course not.
I don't tell single female 2020 that you said that. Oops.
Hey, did you ever see maybe this is stupid. Did you ever see the Superman 2 director's cut?
No.
Do you like the movie Superman 2?
Yeah.
It's great, right? So there's a director's cut by Richard Donner, and he's like really angry. It's really funny. He goes, "These goddamn motherfuckers, they didn't let me do what I wanted to do on the show," and it's really great. But at the opening, Lois Lane is figuring out that Clark Kent is Superman, which is the only thing that makes sense, that this ace reporter couldn't figure out. The guy puts on a pair of glasses, and she doesn't realize. So that's how it opens in the way he wanted the movie to go. They changed it to that Paris Eiffel Tower opening. There's a whole bunch of extra scenes where they go to the Niagara Falls and she shoots him with a gun to prove that he's Superman. And then it turns out that they're blanks. Spoiler alert. And he goes, "Oh, and she's like, well, they're blanks. You just confessed you're Superman, dummy." It's really good.
Have you seen the Suicide Squad?
No, I'm looking for it, but I feel, do I have to watch the first one first? I heard it's bad.
The first one is really bad, actually. The second one, you know what? It started kind of crappy.
So you just watched it yesterday.
I just watched it. I took off this week. I'm like not doing, I'm like COVID paranoid. So I just took off a week just to kind of see what happens. But I did watch Suicide Squad last night. You could watch it at home. Watch it on. It's the best, right? I do miss movie theaters, but then I kind of
I don't miss movie theaters at all. I was on my way out of it anyway, because before COVID, I was just like, oh my God, all movie theaters are people are coughing and sniffing and talking, and I was already out. So this is.
I love the reaction. Why do you think I
watched Space Jam 2?
But I love the
it was awful.
I love the audience's reactions. Like, I love hearing, like, sometimes people heckle the screen and you never forget it. It stays with you the whole time.
That's definitely true. That's fun sometimes, but I don't know. I like watching a movie at home. I think it's the best, and watching it as soon as it comes out, having the choice is the best.
If you have a good TV.
I have an okay TV. I just don't care. That doesn't bother me. But I watched Space Jam 2 because it was available, and it's awful. Just so bad. I can tell you exactly. That's an excellent question. How do I have HBO? I went to the cable. I'm an old man, right? So I still have cable. So I was like, I got to cut my losses. And it's $250 a month. It's really expensive. So I said, can I get rid of the pay channels? And they told me, if you get rid of the pay channels, your price will go up.
What?
They said you're on some sort of package deal, and if you get rid of those channels,
get rid of it all. Just get rid of it.
I can't. I watch TV. I'm the last person who does.
You gotta let it go. I'm gonna tell you something. It is difficult. I've been slowly weaning myself off of cable because it's absolutely a crime how much they charge you, and it's like
it's awful.
Everything you could get on an app. You could get a Fire Stick.
Here's the problem. This is the way I like to watch TV. Like last night I came home, I was a little drunk, right? And it's 3 a.m, and I'm just looking for 20 minutes of something. And I go through, thank you. It was so goddamn bad. I go through the cable. I start at channel 340 and I go till 500 with all the cable, HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, to find something I just want to watch for 15 minutes. If I get the other thing, I have to start it from the beginning, and then it's not just, I just need it right in the middle of one I've seen before. Yeah, he's right. Those sticky floors.
Remember they used to smoke?
People always drop those orange sodas on the floor.
True story. I saw Purple Rain in the movie theater, and they were smoking.
Were you allowed to back then? I think so, right?
Yeah, they were allowed to when Purple Rain came out. That's the crazy part. And
the crazy part is that you were allowed to ever smoke on a plane, and there was never an accident. Like the plane never caught on fire and crashed.
I remember
going their matches on the floor.
That's right. But I remember going with my dad to the Purple Rain, and I always say this about my dad. My dad loved Purple Rain so much. He thought he was Prince because his girlfriend looked like Apollonia,
Oh, wow.
and he would watch Purple Rain over and over again when he was dating her.
Oh.
And I was like, "Are you trying to reenact this with her? I don't understand what's happening."
Oh,
But
that's nice. That's
it was
cute.
weird that they were smoking in the movie theater, and I remember going with my dad and being like, "This is bad, Dad. Are they? This is a crime."
In smoking sections.
I
The
was freaking
balcony is
out.
always
I
like
was
a
like, "Is
smoking
this
section.
okay? This is not okay."
That's the way our lives used to be, especially even as comics. My when I would go out when I was 19 and doing it, my mother would say to my sister, "I think David is smoking," because I would come home from the club smelling of cigarettes. I've never smoked cigarettes. And she's like, "He's not smoking cigarettes. I swear to God." We never told her we smoked weed, but I was not smoking cigarettes. But you remember you'd come home smelling of cigarettes because you'd be at the club. People were smoking in your face.
Oh yeah, that
Are
was
you
awful.
Were you doing it back then? I don't. Maybe you're younger and didn't start.
I started smoking. It was really dumb.
No, I didn't mean smoking. I mean when you're at the clubs, were people smoking? When have you been doing it
Oh
that long?
yeah, I was
Okay.
smoking on
Oh, I
stage.
didn't know you smoked.
I used to do that. I used
You're
to,
so
and people.
healthy. I
Well,
don't see it.
I started. If the reason I started smoking was really stupid. My friend Isis, as you know, she was like, "You're gonna have to use this as an actor someday, so you might as well try it." And then
Oh,
I was
she's right
like,
about that. Actually, that is a thing. I don't think I could smoke on screen. I can't.
"Oh,
I can't
really? You
inhale
don't know
it.
how to do
I
it?"
think about it all the time. I can smoke weed. I can inhale that, but I can't smoke tobacco. When Sherrod rolls his half pot, half tobacco, I get really angry. I'm like, "Is this real weed or is it half tobacco?" I am. Did I write that? It says D.
So yeah, but I
I'm
love this.
very
I'm
hyped.
getting rid of cable, but I still need Comcast for home security and Wi-Fi.
Oh, home
You could
security.
get
That's interesting.
ADT. You can get a separate thing for your security. My sister said this to me. It was so funny. She said the worst relationship she ever had in her life was with cable. She's like, I cursed at them. I cried. I had fits.
It's awful.
I didn't talk to them for a while. But you have to wean yourself off of it because it's really when you
I
look at
also
the
like
end of
the
the year.
DVR too.
Yeah, no, you can do all that with apps.
That's what this woman, Victoria, Vic's old ex-wife, was telling me
Oh,
that they, the YouTube has a DVR section or something, and they have a YouTube channel or whatever. That's an app that you can watch all the television shows. That's the thing, and it's like, well, how can I get CBS? Whatever.
CBS has its own. CBS of all of them actually has its own live stream network
Oh, I think
app.
I pay for that by accident.
Yeah,
I gotta
you
get
can
on that.
if you paid for that on its own, it's cheaper than having all of the case.
I
Just figure out
know. I
what you
gotta get it. What
want.
about for sporting events? That's the thing. I mean, I like to watch football and stuff. Well, football's probably easy to
The
find,
thing
but
is, you gotta figure it out because you're
live sports.
wasting money. I'm telling you. Look, and I got in an argument with someone on Spectrum this week. I got in a huge fight. They had me on hold for like 40 minutes. I was on the phone with him for 2 hours trying to just figure out these channels because I'm trying to wean myself off. So I'm doing like only my favorite channels, and that's
Oh,
it.
you
And
can
I
do that.
cut my bill down like in half.
I know. Isn't that funny that they won't let me cut my bill down? Like, I mean, I've called multiple times,
Well,
and
you
usually
can't
they were
get
so
rid of
good.
HBO, but you can cut your bill down.
How?
Just say you want to do the favorite channels thing.
Oh, I could do that. I only
They
watch
didn't they didn't
TBS.
they didn't tell you that?
Well, I don't have Spectrum. I have Verizon. Maybe that's the difference.
Oh, so that's why.
Yeah, but I only watch TBS. I only watch, as you know, The Big Bang Theory all night long.
So then get rid of it, Jessica. It is a hard thing to do. You just have to wean yourself off of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. I'm telling you,
Plus, remember, you had a show on TBS for a while, so you were in that competition during COVID, so I had to watch it.
Yeah, but you can get CBS now whenever you want.
Damn it.
TBS too. Not TBS too, but TBS also.
And where am I going to find this FX channel that your show's going to be on? I mean, what is happening?
Oh yes, for those of you that don't know, if you're just joining and this week and you didn't know last week, I sold a show to FX. Oh,
I thought about it before I said it too, and I'm like, no, it's not a secret. She mentioned it last week on the air, so I'm okay.
Let's see what people are saying here. I haven't looked at their comments in a while. They serve booze at the Alamo Draft House.
Oh, and DC.
Oh, you ain't never lied. My dad was an old player. Oh, yes, he was.
Absolutely. If he was going out, somebody looked like Apollonia back in
Yes.
1984. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's the first thing I was going to say. I'm like, well, maybe you could
Do you
understand why
have
they make it
medicine in
before.
those lenses, Marina? Does it look like medicine?
I wore some reading glasses today.
Uh-oh. Mr. lost his virginity to Purple Rain. Say word.
Wow. That's cool. That's
Wow.
great. I don't
Wait,
think I
how
had
old
any
are you?
music.
How old were you?
With a partner, I was the first time I lost my virginity, I was 9. How
Oh,
old was your
Venus.
partner? Oh, with a partner, I was 27.
What? You're 27 years old?
No, I was kidding. It was a joke that I had.
Oh, I
I said,
missed
"When
it.
did you lose your? When was the first time you had sex?" I was 9. And well, how old was your partner? Oh, with the partner, I'm sorry, I was 27. That's the
Oh,
gap.
that's funny. I'm sorry, I missed it.
Venus Boy is completely right. Family movies become code for mediocre. So, fuck, he's so right. And think about this in Space Jam 2. This is why it's bad also. They don't get into the Toon World for 30 minutes. It's a 2-hour movie, which is way too long for a movie like that. And they don't get into the Toon World for 30 minutes. And then I was thinking about other movies that are great, where when you're making a movie, and this is probably something about your script writing, like you got to get into it right away, but there's got to be a setup. I was thinking of Back to the Future, and I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming Marty McFly gets to 1955 about 20 minutes in, and that's a lot of setup they got to do beforehand, because otherwise the jokes don't work later. And I was thinking about Groundhog Day too, and I think that's like 20 minutes in, he gets, he starts the days going. 30 minutes for something like this to get into find the cartoons, not cool. And LeBron's awful and doesn't have the same swagger as Michael Jordan, even though he seems like a nice guy and everything. The people that play his kids are awful. It's Sarah Silverman's in it. Did you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did? I didn't know. And the reason why she's in it, you will never know. Why would you hire Sarah Silverman for that particular part? I guess she was just being an actress, but it's like it doesn't pay off. She's just an executive. She's not funny. It's weird.
It's weird, huh? Things happen like that. She was talking about that at the cellar. They're saying congratulations to me.
Yeah. That's big news
Yeah, it is big
for
news.
you and Bonnie
So
McFarlane,
thank
who
you,
is
Scooby Doo.
also
Yeah.
just as wonderful as a writer. I still think she should be the showrunner, and she should have been doing this a long time ago. So should you.
Yeah, we work together well. I mean, Bonnie's my best friend.
Bonnie's amazing. I don't even know whether I even told you how much she did for me and why I think she's so amazing. Like 20 years ago, she really is something else.
Oh,
She's
I
really
get you
smart.
now, Doc. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bonnie is hilarious, and brilliant.
Yeah.
Donnell was like saying medicine is how we used to say prescription. So these are my reading glasses. So yes,
Those are your reading glasses.
I plan
just got
on
these at Dwayne Reed.
Oh, and I can tell. 37, Mister. Oh, you're a baby.
Oh yeah. Oh, so wait. Well, I can't do the math. He was 5 when he lost his virginity to Purple Rain. Wasn't that a long time? Was he 7? Wasn't it 30 years ago?
Notice the flowers. Look, I got sunflowers.
2014. That's impossible. You weren't alive.
Look, just go.
You always have different flowers every show. Wait, doing the math on Mr. Isn't that the one who said he lost his virginity to Purple Rain?
Yeah.
But Purple Rain was 84, 94, 2004, 2014.
Yeah,
that's
do that math.
Is that almost 40 years? Like you
had
sex when you were 3? I can't do the math, but it seems like you were very young. Good for you. Congratulations. I was really old. And I had it. You know what the worst part was? I don't know what. Oh, that's a good question.
Well, I don't want to give too much away, but right now I'm saying, yes, I sold a show. It's good. Can't talk about it too much, because sometimes you put your ideas out there.
This sassy black woman living in a white world. Damn it, Just Cow. You weren't supposed to say anything. It is?
Yes, it is a great week. Great week for Sister Writers. The Ted Lasso episode this week was written by Ashley Black. Oh, you know what? I just started watching Ted Lasso the first season, so I haven't caught up. but it is great.
Oh, it
It's
is.
on
Everybody
Apple.
told me to watch, and I couldn't care less.
It's on Apple TV, and it's
You know,
funny. It's
Ashley
like
Black isn't
really
black. She
great.
just has that last name.
Thanks.
Hey-o!
Maybe he was watching at home on DVD or CD. Jessica, did you ever think of that one?
Of what? Oh, that he was.
Purple Rain.
No, it's.
They are really these.
Oh, I did not. See, we were thinking of the movie theater. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Why would he have sex in the movie theater?
And
Good
then
point.
Kate Vaughn says he lied.
I don't think he'd be lying.
He didn't say when it came out. Okay.
Right.
Let's
That's true.
see.
We just assumed.
The only movie from sorry, it's covering your face.
That's
The
okay.
only movie my high school boyfriend ever paid for was Purple Rain, and I think he only paid because I was sick and he thought I wouldn't go. Girl, I sat through that whole movie with oh no!
You must hate that movie. You must have PTSD when you see
Yeah.
it. Like, that was the worst day of my life sitting through that. And that's a tough movie to sit through. It ain't great.
Yeah.
There are
especially
great elements about it and the music. But
Oh,
it's
I
not a
love
good-
that movie.
You
I
do?
love
I think it's unwatchable.
I know. I love the
Except
movie.
for Morris Day. He was my
It
favorite
was
character.
not when you look back.
With the mirror. I want to do that on stage. I'm like, ooh.
Well, I mean, he was great. I mean, like those moments were so great. And also, it was kind of actually one of the first movies with like a black star, Prince that you could watch. And it was kind of like our culture and it was up there and we were watching it. It was fun. And then there was
I
drama.
was thinking maybe Eddie Murphy was like that too.
And I love that sad scene where he's like, "Who do you think put the heat on?" When his father was upset. I love that.
I just wasn't buying it.
And he just passed. That actor is a great actor. He just passed away. I forget his name. If you guys remember his name, but
I wasn't buying it. Prince was no, I'm not. I love Prince. I went to see him in concert multiple times. I just didn't like I didn't like his acting. I didn't like the movie. I don't know. I didn't love it, I guess. And plus I was older than you guys, so I was already in college. So you're like, what is this? What is this? I just wanted to see Beverly Hills Cop.
Well, I will be putting them in the sun. Okay, Donnell. I'm gonna be putting the fly. It's just for now. It's back here. That's just.
I actually like the follow-up album to that better than Purple Rain. I think it's Paisley Park. I prefer that album as a whole.
Is Marina's show where she plays an assassin who helps other women get rid of their husbands?
Oh, that's brilliant.
I like that.
I like that too. Well, you fucked up. You should go back. I have a second show. Can I put on another network?
I put on another. I love that one, Venus. Love it.
That's good. Barry's amazing. I love that show. I do. Was it Jungle? It was Jungle Love, right? That's Morris Day in the Time, right? Oh. You know that song, Oh.
Mm-hmm. He was great in that. He was great. I mean, I wanted him to do more after that. He didn't do anything else after
he did the
Purple
sequel.
Rain.
What's the sequel?
Oh,
called?
he did.
Remember that horrible scene where they're pulling money out of their socks or something, and it was awful. That was what was the name of that movie?
You're so good at this.
You guys must know.
How about The Last Dragon?
Did you? No, I never saw that.
I didn't think you'd. Oh, the actor from that, by the way, was managed by Richie Tinkins at the comic strip.
Really?
And
I tell you, I got my guys in The Last goddamn Dragon. All right, I tell you. God damn it, Marina! Why is he doing so much time before you get on stage?
I know. Him and Bob Wax, they managed him. I forget his name too.
You guys had to see this guy Richie Tinkins, where Maria was taping a CD and she put her old boyfriend up to open for her, and he was doing so much time, and the guy was getting. So I was sitting right next to him. And he had under the cherry moon, right? Was that? That was the name of the sequel. No, it was.
It felt like it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
What a great title for a bad movie.
And that was really bad.
Yeah. But all his albums, there's always something redeemable. I'm surprised there hasn't been more songs coming out.
Timac is so hot. He was in The Last Dragon. I saw him. He came into the comic strip. this is a comedy club. He's a fan of comedians. He hangs around comics. I was like, this beautiful man is standing in front of me. Now he's gotten older.
Who
so
is he Chinese?
let's see. Let me get a share screen. No, he's black.
Oh.
But
because I am all in on that guy from Crazy Rich Asians. That guy's hot. Henry Goulding, I think his name is, or something. He has his shirt off in half the movie of Crazy Rich Asians, and even I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this guy.
I'm gonna show you now. That's him.
Oh, he is a beautiful man. You are right.
Yes.
Well, I mean, how gay am I? Now I want to see The Last Dragon. I guess I thought it was. I didn't think it was. Was it but it's a karate movie with a black guy, huh?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
That's why Barry Gordy. Yeah.
Barry Gordy, right? Because I guess I'm thinking of. No, I'm not thinking of Enter the Dragon. I know what you're saying, but I guess I was thinking maybe I'm thinking of Big Trouble in Little China. I have no idea. But that guy's gorgeous. I see what you're saying. Yeah, he's a gorgeous man. Look at that, physically fit. I guess I'm just, when I see things like that, I'm just like, in my next life, I want that.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, he's gorgeous. Ooh.
He's gorgeous. What was that in the 80s, right? So I guess he's still alive.
Yeah,
he's gorgeous.
So he walked into the comic strip.
And Scooby Doofus is saying he still looks fit as hell.
Oh yeah. I was on the bus. We took the bus together, which is funny because it's like my joke. I'll take the bus with him. He could take the bus to my house.
Timac?
No, he didn't hit it. He didn't hit it. I wish he had hit it. I would have asked, can you hit this?
You know what? I could have been turned around from that. That body is sick. Just, you know what? The funny thing was, a guy that looks like that, something, oh, hi, everybody. I'm by myself. Marina took off. Well, I'll take care of the show right now. Now, let's talk about show tunes. There I am.
What happened?
I don't know, but I took over hosting the show for a while. Not me.
Oh, I froze.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
A graffiti
you know what's
bridge.
Funny?
Wait, oh, right. That was the third Prince movie, right. Oh, awful. Also bad. What was the tour I saw? The one with she was doing Horse. It's June. What song is that? I saw that tour. 1988. After Paisley Park. And I can't even, for both men and women. Yeah, no, it's so, I mean, yeah, I'd like to hang out with that guy too and just hang around with him. Sometimes it's great hanging around with a good looking dude too, because you're like, oh, how does he have good looking guy friends? You know, just like hanging out with a good looking girl. Sign of the Times. Yes, I went to that tour.
You and Donnell, you guys have a thing here.
He's good.
You guys have a connection.
She was doing Horse.
Jessica, what was that we were saying yesterday we were going to talk about today? You mentioned it yesterday, and I was like, let's talk about that.
Well, I know there was the thing you sent me about that weirdo, which I still can't believe. I read the paper. I watched the news today. I didn't see anything about this asshole that was screaming about how COVID is a hoax and not to wear masks, and then he died of COVID. It's fucking awesome. You sent me the article. I just read it. What an asshole.
He was burning masks. He was ranting on Facebook about the vaccine and making jokes. And yeah, he died. And you see he had a baby, newborn baby. Why he left his wife behind.
They should be grateful he's dead.
He was a senator. Oh God, don't ever. Oh, I could never say
Why
that.
would you want a guy like that as your father or husband? He's an idiot.
I don't wish anything like that on anyone.
He put his family in complete jeopardy by not believing in science and then got himself killed.
I mean,
he's a moron.
He's a moron, but I would never wish that on. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. There are so many people.
Wish that for Hitler's baby.
I talked to my friend. No, my sister. She's also my friend. But she told me that this nurse is seeing patient after patient begging for the vaccine right before being intubated.
So
is that?
You told me that the people are asking for that in the hospital before being ventilated. You mean?
Yeah. What'd I say?
They're inundated, I think.
You make me talk so fast. I can't think.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm like, I can't remember what it was.
I have a good time talking to you. I get excited. I'm sorry.
I know. I love you. That's why I have you here.
Thank you.
Because
I love
you're
doing
like
it.
you fill in the gaps where I don't know a lot of stuff. You know a lot of random stuff.
I know a lot of
Jessica.
random stuff about television and movies.
Like you could play Trivial Pursuit and probably do very well.
As long as it's not a geography question, absolutely. I auditioned for Jeopardy once, and I was doing really good. It's before the internet, so I was reading up on all the books. And what happened when I went at the Waldorf Astoria to the first audition, it goes so fast that I couldn't keep up. It was just too quick. I needed time to decide. You wouldn't wish that on Hitler's baby? Come on. He wasn't that great a dad. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't. Maybe Hitler was a good dad. We don't know, right? Maybe he was. Maybe he was a great dad. He was a complete douchebag in every other way, but he was a terrific dad.
It's got to be the worst death of ignorance, though.
That's the thing.
It's really just ignorance.
What's that kid gonna tell his his friends growing up, like, oh, your dad's dead? Yes, he died of COVID after he decided that he was going to speak out of COVID. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I don't understand why that's not more mainstream news. You sent it to me, but
yeah, so that's the thing that we're talking about here is it's interesting that I got the news and Jessica did not, because Jessica reads a horrible newspaper.
The New York Post.
Yeah, stop reading that.
Remember what I told you yesterday, that Sarah Silverman also tells me to stop. This is the best. She told me to stop reading the Post, at least get the Daily News. And I'm like, I get the Post because on page 3, there's always a picture of a hot girl. It's either Jessica Alba or, somebody that hasn't been around for a while, but they're still hot. And then sometimes there's a picture of you. And she goes, oh, I understand that why you get it. And she didn't even say it to be funny. She was like, oh, well,
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
But it's true. Page 3 is always a hot girl. It's like the Playboy of newspapers. Oh, he sure did. Those dreamy blue eyes. Well, of course. Why would Hitler have an ugly baby?
Yeah, people are dying from ignorance. This is true. I mean, the truth of the matter is we are going in a sense backwards, but I don't think everywhere we're going back. I think New York, this is my I'm going to say this. I think New York is in a good position only because most of New York is vaccinated, and they've just required that indoor dining and indoor theaters, people have to be vaccinated in New York City.
It just happened to me last night for the first time. Caroline's was checking for vaccination cards.
Now, how are they checking for those vaccination
Right at the door.
How? Was it like a screenshot?
I guess I don't think they're going crazy. I always carry my card with me, the actual card, but my niece and her friends, I think, had a photo.
Hi, Rami Acosta. How are you?
Hello.
Where are you from? Where are you at?
Sorry. I also heard there is an app which might be more official.
That what? Say that again?
An app for the vaccination card that might be more official.
Oh, yeah. I have the New York it's like a New York app where you can just have the card.
That's the first time I've had to show my vaccination card, and I loved it. I was really happy about it. I didn't know because on Thursday I was out at the West Side Comedy
yes, thank you.
Club, and they didn't ask for it there.
I know nothing.
Oh, is it the Excelsior app, the New York State one? Every time I see that, I always think of Silver Linings Playbook.
I can't get my words out today.
Help.
Excelsior app. Yes, I have it on the Excelsior app. But like I was telling Jessica yesterday, I have a number of friends who don't want to get vaccinated. You guys know, you've been here. I've had, Zainab was on the show and she was talking about how she doesn't want to. But this is the thing.
Wait, that really hot girl?
Yes.
She doesn't want to get vaccinated?
No.
Well, that takes away her hotness,
Well, but she does do. Here's the thing. Like, if you don't want to get vaccinated, there's a thing of like, if you're not going to get vaccinated, wear the mask at least. And she does do that. She social distances. I think she's sort of leaning towards getting vaccinated now because of all the restrictions, and like she's an actress.
They're doing the restrictions to try and get people like, you're not going to be able to go to these places. And the worst part is, again, I have family members that they're trying like, oh, we'll work around it. Like, they still won't do it with the restrictions. It's really getting on my nerves.
Oh, so the vaccine passport app seems to exclude people who lack documents. So I guess if you have the card, keep the card?
I have the card.
I have
I
the
love showing
card.
that card. The only time I've shown it, I told you, was get a free donut, a Krispy Kreme.
Really? Like even now?
You talking to me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's great.
But really, I didn't. Krispy Kreme is one of those businesses that I thought was going to do well, and then it almost went bankrupt. Right?
It's weird because their donuts are so much more delicious than Dunkin' Donuts, but they just built that huge place in Times Square, which I was there last night, and it's
Mm-hmm.
kicking ass. People have been waiting. The only Krispy Kreme was in Penn Station, and their donuts are unbelievably
Your
delicious.
enthusiasm for Krispy Kremes is
You don't have you
unacceptable.
tried it?
I've had Krispy Kreme. Don't I stay away?
Well, right.
I
You
stay
wanna
away
keep your
from
figure,
sugar. Well, yeah, I'm trying to get this figure back. It's hard.
'cause you want people to tap that shit.
I want them to tap it. But it is so hard, Jessica. I work out with Irene Bremis, and she's so
Oh, you
great.
do?
She's like, "Hey, sweetie,
She's
you've got
great.
it, sweetie, sweetie, teenager." Because you get
Are
to
you doing
this.
it on Zoom?
We do it on Zoom with her,
Cool.
and then today I worked out with Mindy, who's just had a baby. I worked out with her the week she gave birth. She's incredible.
You do it at your house or on Zoom? Always on Zoom.
On Zoom, on
I
FaceTime.
got to say, Irene Bremis used to help me work out, and she would come over, and she's terrific.
She's fun.
Yeah, she's really great.
And
It makes
she's
you feel good about yourself.
strong.
Yeah. I
And she
should go
does
back
make you
now that
feel
she does
good.
it on Zoom. I should go to
You
her
could do
again.
it with me. She'll do a group. You can come on the Zoom with me.
Ooh, I would like that very much. Did that sound gay? Or is that what I said?
No, it's just like, ooh.
Well, that would be fun.
Yeah, you could come on with me.
I meant it in the best of ways.
I know, but you were just so excited. It was cute.
Well, you know how excited I get
But she
about
does.
random stuff.
She'll say, "Sweetie, that pose, sweetie, I got tears. I got tears. That pose is so fantastic." And it's just, she makes you feel great. And it's for half an hour.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And it works. That's all you need is half an hour.
Do you do it every day or like 3 times a week or?
Well, right now her schedule, so it's just been once a week, sometimes twice. What I'm going to start doing is I may start going back into the gym with the boxing. I don't know. It depends on how this virus is acting.
You're not going back in. Nice try, Marina. You're afraid of everything. There's no way you're going to a gym till at least 2023. Nice try. Nobody's buying what you're selling today.
Well, my boxing
Well,
trainer.
you know what? Let me do it the way you were going to do. How dare you say you're going to go? I think that's why you're just putting them on so you can make a point and take them off.
Oh, they've started having raffles for vaccinated people in our. Oh, wow.
Can you believe that?
It's amazing what
What
you have
is
to
happening?
Do.
How is that different?
Scooby Doofus.
What? Really? Oh my God.
Look.
That's surprising.
Oh, look, there's agreement.
Really? I eat Dunkin' Donuts because they're in the neighborhood and Krispy Kreme is so much better. I'm surprised you guys don't like them. I thought everybody was in agreement. Stan Lee. Right. Excelsior.
Yeah, I love it. I can't believe I find Krispy Kreme donuts to be delicious. I mean, I don't find them gross
I
at all.
didn't think anybody hated them, but
they do have a lot of sugar.
You should have seen the line in Times Square yesterday to get a Krispy Kreme. Oh, last night, by the way, this is how bad New York City is, or maybe it's always been like this, but you know how people are complaining and you're seeing a lot of nonsense on the street. I was waiting for the halal guys, on 53rd and 6th, and it was like a half-hour line, and somebody came right through me online, and the halal guys pounced on him and started beating the shit out of this guy. I don't know what he did. They were kicking him and punching him like Joe Pesci was doing to that guy in Goodfellas, They let him have it. It was amazing. And nobody did anything. Nobody screamed. Nobody panicked. Everybody stayed online while they let the halal guys handle it. It was amazing. I've never seen anything like that so up close like that. It was terrifying. But also, but we felt protected. Those halal guys were all over it because it was like 1 a.m. They're there 24 hours a day. That must happen all the time to them. There's got to be an asshole either trying to steal the tip jar or something. It was some crazy person. And then the guy.
But what the thing that we're not addressing is why you're eating that food.
Oh, well.
Like you gotta start eating better
food that it's on the way and I can take it home. It's just rice and lamb and chicken.
You gotta eat, no.
Well, what do you recommend late at night when I don't want to go to
not
sleep
eating
drunk and
not eating.
Yeah, but when you're drunk, it gives me less of a hangover. I don't want to eat
not
bad,
drinking.
but
Not drinking.
well, see, now you're just being ridiculous.
You gotta start. You
I
gotta
love the after
start.
show beer. Everyone knows that, Marina.
Never seen a shawarma cook engaged in gangland beating.
I
This
know.
happened. Yes.
It was amazing. Right in front of me. Nobody even picked up their phone and taped it. Everybody just stood still and let them handle it. It was quite fascinating. And that was just after they were finished praying, which was really funny. They had the carpeting and they were all playing. Love hot donuts now. Yeah,
I
all
know. I
glazed with
love.
sugar. It
I
was
love the
amazing.
sugar.
That wall of glaze
but I
when you
can't.
watch it come out of the thing, it's so good. Remember when it first opened in Manhattan on 23rd Street? People would just go there and eat a dozen donuts in a box. You just sit there and eat the donuts.
Oh, yeah. You can't do that. You can't do it.
Oh, that wall of glaze. You just can't help yourself. I just
Yeah,
think of it as
not
being bad for your
drinking.
teeth.
Drinking is bad for you.
No, drinking is good for you. It makes me happy.
Let me tell you
Yeah, I
why.
know.
You
Here's
work
the
out
problem.
and it's like you didn't even work out.
He's saying hard liquor is the way to go. And I know a lot of times I feel that way because I only want to drink beer, but I know it's like caloric. So I will drink the hard liquor, but that really messes me up. So that's why I've been trying to stick to beer, which I know is bad.
Your best bet is to stay away from alcohol. It has sugar
Marina,
as well.
not an option.
You know what Keith said to me yesterday? He goes, "Your voice gets on my nerves." he goes, "You know, you make me want to get unvaccinated." That's what he said. He goes, "Yeah, you make me want to get unvaccinated."
He's so goddamn funny. Damn it. You know, even when you're mad at him, it's just you can't be mad at
You
him because
can't.
he's so funny. The last week when he said, Marina, I got the twisties.
Yeah, he said he was sitting at the cellar and he goes, "I got the twisties."
Oh,
That's what happened to me. I got the twisties.
that idiot is gonna die. And he just doesn't that's a problem. That guy has not changed his lifestyle. And
No,
he's in
he
trouble.
has. He's
Has he?
started. He eats healthy now. He eats
Does
very
he?
healthy. Yeah.
Or is he just saying that to make you happy?
No, I watch him. He eats very healthy. Once in a while, he'll have something.
Well, that's okay.
I get on him about because he really cannot drink like everyone else.
No, he
but he's
can't. He
doing
can't
much
do a lot of
better.
things. When you have two, then you got to one. You can make a case like, go back to normal. But then when it happens again, you got to relax, or it's going to be over next time.
It's
not
just
gonna
like
work.
the finishing line. It's like, look, this is where I could hear Keith going, "Oh, Jesus Christ, hang up on her, Jessica." It's like he's in my head. I swear to God.
He's been in your head for so many
He
years.
goes-
We've had this conversation before.
He goes, "Safe finish line, safe finishing line again. Say it one more time, and I'll hang up on you."
He's been in your head for so many years. We've had a talk where I've said to you, you've got to get Keith out of your head and relax. Nobody is thinking that way. Sometimes what he's saying to you could even be out of jealousy.
Oh. In Raleigh,
usually
North
it's in Raleigh.
Carolina, there is a 5-mile Krispy Kreme running challenge. You run 2.5 miles, eat a dozen donuts, then run another 2.5.
Is that true? Because I would totally try and do that.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine eating a dozen donuts, then running to, well, yeah, I guess you could. But I'd probably, at this age, I'd probably have a heart attack for sure, right?
We're talking about Keith Robinson, Donnell Watson. That's who we're talking about.
Very hilarious Keith Robinson.
I
never seen
next to the new fancy Taco Bell that serves sugary booze. You can have it all on 6th Avenue.
Wait, is that they opened a new? That's where the original Krispy Kreme was on 23rd. Is it next to that Taco Bell? That's right across from Gotham.
Oh wow, really?
That Taco Bell, they serve booze now. Yeah, it's a cantina, Taco Bell cantina.
Oh,
I
yeah.
eat a lot of Taco Bell also.
I agree, Mook X. Where you at, Mook X? Where you coming from? I haven't seen you on my live before. Yeah, I would love to have Keith back on. He's been a little, he had a setback, but he's getting better. So, vocally, he's getting there. But I would love to have him back. He's almost better, and he's going to be good. He's going to be good. As long as he keeps eating healthy.
I eat a lot of Taco Bell also,
Yes.
I eat all that fast food stuff. I got a problem.
Yes, you can't do that.
I know.
Look at me. I get crazy.
I know.
I had my celery juice this morning.
So you are still doing that every day.
I'm I'm addicted to celery juice. Like I get angry when I don't have celery juice in the morning. It clears out all my brain fog. It's
Really?
better than coffee. I have coffee too. I don't even know why I still drink coffee because the celery juice, the moment I wake up, my head's a little bit foggy. I got that morning fog, whatever. It's a little bit of a headache, a little bit. And then the moment I have celery juice, it's gone. It's like all cleared out. So
and
like
you actually crush the celery yourself. You do it every day, right?
I go to Whole Foods, I get celery. It takes me two, depending on the bunch. Sometimes it'll take one bunch. Usually takes two bunches makes 20 ounces of celery juice. I drink it all down. It's better fresh. I rinse it. I clean it. I get organic celery, and I love it. I know it sounds gross to some people. In the beginning, I was like, ew, celery juice. And now I love celery. It's amazing what it does. And it clears you out.
How long can you keep it in the fridge for, celery?
Not that long. Like, like
a couple days.
Like
Or you can keep it a
4
week?
days.
So
Vegetables.
you can get a week's worth of celery at the grocery store.
Well, I do. I mean, I have arguments with them when they don't deliver it properly too.
Oh, you get it delivered?
I used to, because I used to get like
That's
5 bunches of
right when
celery.
you were going through you want
Now I'll ride my city bike to the Whole Foods on 125th Street.
125th Street. And that's the Ethiopian Shimshan. What part of Ethiopia are you from? 125th Street. That's Gregory Hines.
They're coming for you. Let's see what they say. They're gonna come for you. They're gonna come for you, Jessica.
Hey, as soon as I hear 125th Street, I just think of History of the World Part 1. I can't help it.
Oh, Kate Vaughn said I was addicted to fruit for some. So yes, I get it. Fruit fur,
like peaches.
Let's see. Let me put my glasses on.
You got it right. Oh, fruit for some time. That's
Scooby Doo thinks celery juice is the hot dog water of vegetables.
That is so true.
It's not true. It's not true, Scooby Doofus. Try it.
Meanwhile, that hot dog water is delicious. I love eating a hot dog out of that horrible water.
Someone's like, you guys, I'm telling you, it'll change your life. You got to try it.
You've been saying that, and you've been sticking with it. Maybe I got to give it a try. Because then I might feel better about eating the McDonald's afterwards.
Leave Harlem alone, Jessica. Look, celery juice is the preferred drink at Guantanamo.
That and the cock meat sandwich. It's all movie references.
They just say you out of pocket. Like Donald J. Trump. No, Jessica's nothing like that.
Yeah, they mean Donald Trump, right?
Yes, but he's nothing like that. I have to defend him there.
Thank you.
Now he's
I don't know. You don't find that 125th Street, the thing from History of the World, funny?
That's what he was imitating? They didn't even know that.
I said it. I said it's Gregory Hines from History of the World Part 1.
Oh, I don't listen to you all the time.
Well, nobody does. I'm like white noise.
Let's see.
I should get a job doing a podcast putting people to sleep. That's what I should do. I say this is a podcast that you'll easily fall asleep.
You would never, Jessica, you would never allow someone to fall asleep. That I know. You would always make sure there's some musical number coming that would wake them up.
Damn it, you're so right. I hate you so much. You know me so well. God.
What is that? What is your favorite? Yeah.
Singing Grease songs.
Rachel said you killed.
Rachel wasn't paying attention to the end. No, but that's nice. It did look that way at the beginning. Then I got confused. My niece was there and I got panicked because she's always telling everybody how much I bomb. So I wanted to prove her right to her friends. I said people usually hire me so they can make fun of me as I'm bombing on stage. That's the reason people hire me. I don't want to get good.
She said you killed. I have the text. She was like, Jessica killed last night.
I had a really fun time. It was a fun night. It was a great crowd. Rachel didn't think so, but I thought they were. Oh, well, I guess I always think if they're polite and they're not booing, that's a great crowd because I've been booed off stage.
Now, let me ask you, you've been booed off stage?
You know that story in Atlantic City opening for Artie. Oh my God. Outside Steve was there. He was there. He saw the whole thing. Totally
Tell us all about this.
And I said, you can keep booing all you want. I'm not leaving.
Now, when did they start?
Velez was there too. You can ask him.
What started it?
I don't know. Somewhere I said something wrong that turned the crowd, and I'm not sure what it was. And they just started booing. Yeah, exactly. And it was great because I really didn't care. I thought it was funny, but they were really booing. And then that's when Russ Maneve said, Jesus, Jessica, there were more boos today than in a haunted house, which was the best line. And then here's the best part. This was at the Borgata in Atlantic City. So the guy that runs the Borgata also runs the bigger room that me and Sarah played 2 summers ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes, wait, they let you back here? He goes, oh, I'm at the bigger room this time.
Oh, that's right. I remember that guy was like, they let you come back.
You guys, like, oh my God, you should have seen this guy last time.
That's so funny.
Then Sarah started to panic. Wait, what happened? Thank God we had already done shows. If that was the first night, it could have been a disaster.
But how many people were at back to the booing. So you didn't care about the boo? It didn't bother you?
Funny, when we were at the casino at the tables later, a lot of people from the show were coming up. They're like, hey, Ruff said it. I'm like, I know. I don't know what happened. It went like, so I owned it.
It's the only job where after you do bad, people still are around you.
Yeah, exactly. It never ends. And then I was sharing a room with my friend Dave Elliott, and we woke up the next morning. He's like, are you all right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I feel great. It just really, listen, years ago, that would have bothered me. But there was just something about it that kind of stuff just doesn't bother me as much anymore. I don't know why.
Oh, they're starting to know you. That's just Gal, not even bothered.
Oh, thank you. Again, it was a movie quote. Although I had to stop doing the movie quote from Trading Places where they use the N-word at the end, because I used to do that all the time on my podcast. And people are like, yeah, you probably, even though it's a movie quote, probably shouldn't say it.
White Noise would be a great name for your podcast.
Just keep talking. Just keep going.
Every comedian has a bomb story like a war veteran. Oh, yeah.
I'm just glad people were there to see it. It wasn't taped, so I'm glad people were there to see it.
I don't know if I can't. I always forget my bombs.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do as a professional comedian. I am not a professional. You are a professional headlining, great classic, legendary comedian at this point. I will always be an opener, if that.
Stop yourself.
No, it's true. It's no big deal. I know.
From telling the truth.
So it's different. It's like I have a lot of bombs because I really just don't care as much as somebody that really does the work and the writing and the unbelievable. And let me just say it again as she holds up this thing, how amazing she was on that Here From Now, or what is it, the Prairie Home Companion when we went.
I performed with them again.
I know on Sunday. I'd like to hear about that. In the park, you were sending me the funniest pictures because they weren't feeding the talent. Remember?
Oh yes, I want to talk about this. I put this up because Wendy Liebman gave me this book.
Oh, did I get you guys together?
Yes, you did. And the reason I'm bringing her up is because, I do this every Saturday to promote my podcast, Friends Like Us. If you didn't know, that's why I do this, to promote the podcast. It's laid back. We're casual. We're talking. But I also want to encourage you to listen to the podcast, Friends Like Us. It's available on all platforms. Wendy Liebman is one of the comedians that I looked up to when I first started. She's great. She's like Wendy, Wanda Sykes, some more. God, there's so many. Sarah Silverman, all of these comedians that I looked up to. Wendy Liebman, I have her on Friends Like Us coming out next week.
Oh, great.
The one,
so glad.
Yeah, and it's a really great episode. So check that out because I really wanted to talk to her because she's one of those comedians. She's an older comedian, and I feel like a lot of people stole from her, actually. And I'm going to say it. Hey,
I don't mind. We talked about it before, and I talked about it with her on my podcast. And she didn't steal, but she stole her cadence.
I'm not saying that.
No, this is not Marina saying it, but she stole her cadence for a period of time. Then Amy found out her own way. But when I first saw her,
she was inspired.
Looking around in the audience and just going like, wait, am I the only one that notices she's doing Wendy Liebman's act, which is an amazing act of misdirection and awesomeness. And I noticed right away. And then, she did blame her and said she even took this joke and they put it on YouTube and compared it. And that's why I had to get into knowing Wendy Liebman. I'm glad you get it and you're friends with her. And
Scooby Doofus, you've never seen me bomb. Okay.
But Wendy Liebman is amazing. She's an amazing comic, and you're so right. She was like a groundbreaker. She should have been much more famous, but that's when girls weren't as good as they are now in the sense of, yeah, she was amazing on Dr. Katz. She's very close with Jonathan Katz, and anybody that knew her back then knew she was terrific. She was really, really great. She should have been Seinfeld. If she wasn't a woman, she would have been a star. But they weren't doing stuff for women comedians back then. She was a little
Whatever
before her
I
time.
can do to get her in my show that I'm writing.
I'm so glad that you
I'm
like
gonna
her as
try.
much as I do,
And
yeah.
so she gave me this book. She sent this to me as a gift for having her on the show, and also because I told her about the fact that I have a show that I just sold. So she's sent me this. The art of making the most of every moment. I don't know, the Japanese way. So we'll see. I don't know what they do.
Did you hear? Do you know? I don't know whether you heard me talking about her husband. His dad wrote A Spoonful of Sugar, like a lot of the Mary Poppins songs
No,
from the movie. Yeah,
that was her dad.
Yes, that her father-in-law.
Oh, her father-in-law.
He just died. But isn't that amazing? A whole bunch, Chimney, all that kind of stuff. Him and his partner, I guess, they wrote that. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. I
Yeah.
didn't. What an interesting fact.
Yeah, well, I had her on I was dying to talk to her about mostly the Amy Schumer stuff, and I was just wondering how she felt about it because it was so obvious to me. And I was like, I wonder if anybody cares, because people, I guess, didn't know, because Wendy had gotten out of the business for a while. And then when she was on AGT, I had wondered if she came onto America's Got Talent to say, hey, this is what I can do and come back. But she said that was not the reason. She just wanted to do it.
I love this. Donnell said, Miles Davis said you become a professional when you learn to play yourself, or
Well,
when you
it's just like a comedian.
or when you stop beating Cecily Tyson, which he did.
Ooh,
hey,
that's so true, and that's with comedians as well. Because I used, for years, I used to just hide behind imitations and stuff, and people were like, just talk about your life, talk about yourself, be yourself. And then I got a little better, but I just can't do it.
I think she'd be a good Karen neighbor. Oh yeah, Scooby Doo says I think she'd be a good therapist actually, because
Wendy?
that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to. Yeah. I looked at her history.
She's so funny just talking to her. She's going to be such a great guest.
She was so funny. She just always has a misdirect. She is the queen of misdirection.
She like invented it almost.
And and a lot of people don't know that a lot of the comics that they've seen, who they got that from.
Right.
And I told her this. I said, I feel like you don't get your flowers enough, and I want to give them to you.
That's exactly what I said. That's why I was so happy you're having her on. She needs to be heralded as one of the greats and be respected as such. I'm so glad you feel similar, because she knows how I feel about her, and I am just all over her shit. And she's always like, oh, you're the best. You're the best. And I'm like, how is everybody else not being like this with you? You're amazing.
It's a weird thing. I think there's some ageism in the comedy business when it comes to women, unfortunately. I think that's part of it. And I don't understand it, because women comedians get better when they get older. They get better. Rodney Dangerfield was hilarious. I mean, you become more of a seasoned. The younger, you don't have anything to talk about.
Marina, you know how it's funny how I'm like, kind of uneducated and, racist and all that kind of stuff. But the one thing that I seem to be okay with from the beginning was female comics. Like I never had a problem with that, like I'm friends with so many of them, and I always thought they were better than half of the men. I mean, we know a lot of great men, so it's okay. But it's funny. I just got on board with that right away. And,
so
and that's growing up in a world, as you know, where nobody wanted to see female comics. But I guess being friends with Sarah at the beginning was helpful in that way. And I'm like, wow, well, here's somebody really good, unless I'm crazy. That female comics really do suck.
Wendy Liebman was on Carson.
Yeah. So did you ever see that first one where her opening joke is that somebody said she looked like Ruth Buzzy? It's my favorite joke.
How's it go?
Well, I think it's just, I don't remember. It's on YouTube. I can show it to you now.
Let's see here. Let me
it's
pull
so
it up.
Good. And she's like, somebody told me, oh wait, I know what she said. She says, somebody told me I look like Ruth Buzzy. I don't know who that is. Is she pretty?
Hold on. Here we go.
But of course, you have to be a certain age to get that joke.
Hold on. Here we go.
Yeah,
I could do this
with Carson.
Let's see.
I mean, that's exciting.
Share.
She was also on the Larry Sanders Show, which is, the highest compliment you could ever get, let alone Dr. Katz.
I know, right?
But we were
Okay,
on
here.
Dr. Cat, so it doesn't count.
Here we go.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, 1991. I hated her haircut, but I let it go. The opening joke is the best.
Thank you, Doctor. Okay, when my next guest, this young lady was a finalist in the Johnny Walker National Comedy Search at the improvisation clubs throughout the country. This is her very first appearance on network television. And Wendy's going to be performing in Boston, her hometown, at Stitches, May 15th through the 18th. Would you welcome, please, Wendy
Look at
Lee.
Carson.
Wendy.
Hi. It's great to be here. I'm in a great mood because when I walked in, some guy thought I was Ruth Buzzy. And I don't know who she is. She pretty? Maybe I should have kicked him out of my stall. Actually, that happens to me all the time, though. People mistake me for, like, Liza Minnelli, Sandy Duncan, Prince, Alf,
Current, yeah.
Oprah. The other day, this man, he was, like, pointing to me. He was like, Lady Di? I said, me? No. Then I found out he was just telling me what to do. Thanks for getting that. I'm too young today. I'm only 29, and I found my first gray hair today. I'm so upset about it because it was on my chest.
1991. We're in 80s fashion.
It's just a joke. I'm 30, but I love this job. I love this job because I used to be a secretary. I hated that. I used to call in sick a lot. I said I had female problems, right? Like, little did my boss know I was talking about her. She was the problem. Now I do comedy. I'm also a writer. I write checks and mostly fiction, of course. A lot of mystery. I loved to write. When I was growing up, I had a pen pal. I wrote to her once a week for 14 years till she finally wrote back. She said, stop. Didn't stop me. I should stop eating. I've been eating everything lately, so today, finally, I went running. I had to, because the ice cream truck was going 60. And I needed a lift to the bakery, so I'm at the bakery, right? I'm standing in line, and this really cute guy is flirting with me. Finally, he came over, he asked for my number, and I gave it to him, and then I had to take a new one.
I love her expressions afterwards. It's all in the moment of telling it.
Thanks for your sympathy. I know I'm not fat, but I'll always feel that way because since I was really little, my parents used to stuff me with like cookies and candy, and I don't think they wanted a daughter. I think they wanted a piñata. I hated that stick. But this is, I like the candy. This is my first time in LA. I love it. I drove in tonight. I thought it would like hit a lot of traffic, but I only hit like 2 cars on the train.
Right.
I am not a good driver.
You know, and that's the thing about her too, is like she is probably the last comic or one that had a gimmick. You know, nobody has that she had a gimmick. You were going her to see that, and now people see what we're talking about, that misdirection. I mean, it's terrific. You really got to be prepared. That's not, I don't think it's coming off the top of her head. Well, actually it is, because we've interviewed her and it does come off the top.
It comes off the top. When I had her on the podcast, you know what's funny is I felt kind of bad because my podcast, we get serious, and I felt like I was taking her out of what she naturally does that, even though like we were talking about salt and somehow it became like cocaine. It was just so funny. Like she'll just do that in conversation. She can't help it. And when I'm talking to her, I end up doing that too. Actually, it's contagious. So I could see why people were doing her, because it's really easy to pick up on that rhythm, that style, and it's real joke writing, which by the way is a lost fucking art. I mean, like there are so few comics today who really know how to tell a freaking joke. There's so much personality out there, but there's a craft there where you have to tell an actual punchline, a good joke. And you could still have both. You can have personality and joke, but there's so many comics right now avoiding punchlines. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I'm going off on a rant, but it just
No, you're
that's
right.
why I love her so much, because she reminds
She's old
me.
school. Like
She's
that's
old
what we grew
school.
up on. We
Yeah.
grew up on, and she was
Yeah.
older than us, and she was already famous when we were starting. And that, I mean, she was on the Tonight Show in '91. You know, I mean, I started earlier, but mostly technically was started in 1990, and she was already famous. So we aspired to be in her position.
Oh, thank you, Robin. Yeah, no, I learned a lot from the ones who come before me. That's how you get better.
Right.
I tell my young interns, that I have working for my podcast now. Evelyn is pretty smart. She's really good at knowing who's out there, but I have, 2 new assistants that I keep telling them, when you look up the comics that I have on the podcast, it's beneficial to you because you want to be a comedian someday. So you should know who came before you. Don't just.
It drives me crazy. A lot of the young comics don't care for the history of comedy, and it drives me insane.
Drives me crazy.
You and I definitely grew up with certain comics that we liked, and even the ones we didn't like, we knew about. And I remember being at Caroline's, being managed by them back in the 90s. And I loved it there because I could actually see a lot of my heroes headline, even people that are closer to our age, like who's that? I can't think of his name. Him and his Larry Miller. I would see him and do longer sets. And it was exciting to be able to see all these people.
Yeah, and see, like lines like this. Congratulations, I just quit smoking crack. Like
I just keep smoking crack.
Oh, I just.
So anyway, right.
But the thing is like, to us that may seem kind of like hacky or like so easy and simple, but she was the first.
Yeah, right, exactly. It was, and this was right. She was the first, and that's what people don't realize. Sometimes when you see a sitcom, you're like, this isn't that funny anymore. But you're like, no, but this is the first time this premise had ever been done. Like if you're like watching the Dick Van Dyke Show or something. Well, it's not as
I
funny
love
as
this
you
person
said it
is
would be.
selling on my page. Look at this.
Selling?
Look at this guy. Claim free 30.
And it's only $30. I mean, I don't care.
Get off.
Let me write that down.
Get it out of here.
My pen.
Let's see. I like Stuart Lee. Neither jokes nor personality.
I don't know Stuart Lee.
I don't know who's. I kind
meant
of may
Pete
think. You mean Pete Lee?
Yeah, maybe he means Pete Lee.
No,
Well,
I think there is a comedian named Stuart Lee. Pete Lee is also actually in Suicide Squad.
He is?
Yeah, and so is my friend Flula Borg.
Who?
Flula.
You know what? You have a friend named Flula?
Well, that's his stage name.
And ISIS in one lifetime?
Flula is his stage name. That's not his real name.
Oh.
His stage name, when I was on tour with Conan, he's the German guy on the show who's like, yes, Conan. And he plays this character, Flula, and everyone knows him and he gets words wrong. He's like a real character. And so like he worked, when I used to work out really hard and we were on tour, we used to work out in the gym together and I was competing with him, not knowing like how much of a like athlete and athletic he was. That's just me. I compete with everybody. Oh, let's see what the JGL has a lot here. Let's see. In the 90s, I remember maybe Lifetime having a female comic hour, and it was often Wendy Liebman, Kathy Griffin, Margaret Cho, Paula Poundstone, Sarah Silverman. It was all so much fun to watch.
All those girls were good except for Paula Poundstone. She doesn't belong in that sentence because the other ones are because she's old school, and the other ones were the new regime.
What about Wanda Sykes?
Paula Poundstone was actually a lot of the problems with women comics. Nobody liked her. I mean, maybe some people but that's all
I liked her.
Maybe because you're a woman, but as far as everyone else was concerned about females in comedy, they're like, see, this is all you get. When somebody like even Margaret Cho came around and Kathy Griffin even, you were like, well, this is a lot more fun.
Well, we do have to wrap soon, but do you want to answer this question? Is the delayed punchline what you guys mean by
exactly that's what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not sure what to call it. I always call it a misdirect.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like congratulations, I just quit smoking crack.
Oh, so
you can't even do her jokes. That's the thing. Like I can't believe people were stealing her stuff. You have to say it just the right way.
Stuart Lee is a UK comedian.
Oh.
Let me see what he looks like.
Well, that's the thing, you can be like a Stephen Wright, and have no personality and yet have awesome jokes that makes it work anyway. If you're a great writer, you can still be a great comic and have no personality. If I actually had jokes and punchlines, I'd be very successful.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I know how. It's true. I know how to perform comedy. I just don't have the material.
This is Stuart Lee.
Oh,
I've never seen him.
I feel like I've seen him on maybe TV or movies or something, but
the only way that Americans really get to know British comedians is when they have like a TV show like The Office or, something like that. Because I feel like American comics are kind of arrogant about the fact that they think we started comedy.
Yeah.
And but there was
when clearly if you see History of the World Part 1, it was Mel Brooks as the stand-up philosopher. Come on, guys. Get off fat. Get off fat. I told you that was Rachel doing that to me in Boston. She in the wings. Stop talking about Star Wars. It's right out of History of the World Part 1.
Well, how about the fact that you imitate people too?
Well, I used to. That's all I used to do was imitation. You didn't see this, and I know we got to go. But I had a video.
They coming for you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. He's right. So I found a piece of paper. Well, actually, I have it here.
They say someone must give Juskow truth serum because he is roasting himself this episode. Yes.
This is my Letterman set from 1996. Look at this. James Spader, Willy Wonka, Ruth Gordon, Paul Lynde, Charlton Heston, and Edward G. Robinson. This is how I planned to get on the David.
There's
Letterman
like food
show.
Stains on the paper.
Yes, it was a long time ago. And the best is the gambling. I also had my bets on the bottom of the sheet of paper. Alabama -17. It's like, no, how did this guy not get? And then my Halloween costumes for all the 70s. And I planned to get on the Letterman show with those. Meanwhile, I guess I was doing so well back there. This is my Saturday Night Live contract that I had to sign before I auditioned for it, and that same year. So I guess this worked back then some way or another, but it looks ridiculous now. I use that contract as a coaster now.
No, Juskow's not a hack. He just doesn't get practice. No, you're not a hack.
I don't really want to be a comic. A stand-up.
Juskow is one of the funniest people I know.
Off stage.
Yeah. Right, but the thing is stand-up is very hard. I do feature foreign Kayvon to answer your question. Actually, I've had Hannah Gatsby on twice. And I want to get David Cow on. He's from South Africa.
No, it's David Juskow. Sorry, you were saying it incorrectly.
No, David Cow. David Cow from South Africa. Cow.
Wait, the guy's name is David Cow.
And we've
I
also
don't want
had
that guy to become successful. That's bad for me.
He's very
David Juskow. Everybody's going to say that. Everyone's going to say it.
David Cow is very successful in South Africa.
Yeah, and that's where he should stay. Only because he is the exact same name as mine, except for the JUS. This is not good.
We've also had Gina Yashere on the podcast, even though she's in America now.
Oh.
Well, she really was huge in England, and then she came to America and built up and became huge here. That's a real story because it's hard to be
unlike
good.
that guy Gad.
Oh, let's not talk about God.
See?
Oh,
I rest my case.
I don't know if you guys know Gad. And I think I've had someone else on the show, I think from another country, but I can't remember right now. But I know a lot of Australian comedians that I would love to have on, like Joel. Oh God, I cannot remember.
What happened to that guy James Smith? He was always okay.
Oh, James Smith. Yeah, James Smith is from Australia.
But he just took off. Never seen him again.
He had stomach issues and he took off for a little while. He was, getting better. And then he came back for a little bit, and then I don't know what happened.
He was funny and he was a nice guy. I have stomach issues all the time. I don't go to Australia. What an asshole. That's because
I've had a lot of Canadian comedians on. I've had Iman El Husani. She's been on.
A comedian. Okay. Because Iman and I she was in my building sometimes, and we used to take care of my friend on the 6th floor when he was sick. Iman, the model, David Bowie's wife.
Oh yeah.
And we changed this guy's sheets together, and she never wanted to talk to me. She's like, "Yeah, how you doing?" She was
Look at
so
this.
pretty.
Jay knows he bites other comedians and does their routine in French. And yeah,
Who's
that
that?
is a
David
he's-
Just
no. We're talking.
Cow?
Yeah, no, talking about Gad.
Oh yeah, well that guy's weird.
That is a very frequent thing. Like comedians from other countries will come to America, take the material, go back, and because we're not there, they don't know.
Oh,
So they'll
is that
steal
right?
the premise.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's
really sad.
that's something I should do.
That's so awful.
I mean, that's horrible. I wish I was kidding, but I would totally do that.
I saw
actually in that list. I found all this stuff. I found a list I opened for this 80s band in London in 2001, just before 9/11. This band was called Roman Holiday, and they had a couple of songs on MTV in the 80s, and I opened for them, and Attell wrote me all these British jokes, and it was so funny. Like he just let me use his material, which was very nice, and he wrote all these jokes for me, like why is the Duchess of York so fat? The food here is awful. They should call her the Duchess of Pork. It was stupid, but
Oh, okay.
stuff.
Look, Stephen Fry is good on the differences between UK and US comedians. Also, let's see, Essling, get her funny female Irish comedian. Okay.
Well, we could just use Lois.
I know we have a lot of Irish friends. Anyway, we got to get out of here, but I will say these are some of the reviews we've had. One of them by Paul Francis Sullivan, who's a comedian himself, good friend of mine, and he always gives us good reviews for the podcast. He says, Friends Like Us is fantastic and thought-provoking, yet still funny podcast created and hosted by Marina Franklin. Listen to the great new episode, Going Backwards, featuring Carmen Lynch, yes. And I have a hard time saying her last name, obviously.
Clearly.
But Carmen has done a lot of late night shows. Speaking of misdirection,
she's terrific too.
Brilliant
and a
at it.
Person too.
Mia Jackson, who is absolutely, she's my Georgia peach. She's from Georgia, Florida. I always love having her on, and she's so sweet. And like in the beginning, she would be kind of shy, and she's getting more like open. And that's what I love about the podcast. It is open to having people develop and get better on it and getting their voices heard, because we all have to do panel at some point. This is the world we're in. Von DiCarlo is also on that one as well.
Oh, that's right. That's my favorite, because I keep thinking that's the Catwoman, or from Batman. Von DiCarlo.
Von DiCarlo was great. It was just a fun episode because we're chill, we're having fun, and then the one that's coming out this week is with Wendy Levin. So please make sure to check out Friends Like Us. Also, get the merchandise. This is the t-shirt. I can't see you right now. I don't have the t-shirt. Well, because I was reading. Get the t-shirt. We also have coffee mugs.
Ooh.
Right. Oh, there we go. Right there. And we have
Marina Franklin. Oh, she's the host.
And we have hoodies, all kinds of stuff.
Hoodies, very smart.
Oh, they're really going in.
Very smart for a black show.
Look, they're saying, "Have a good evening, Jusko." That's really nice.
Thank you.
After they love attacking you.
I just made fun of the hoodies and black people, and I'm still okay with that.
Oh my God!
Thank you very nice.
Yes,
thank you much. I love talking to Marina. I love doing this show, and you guys are all so nice.
Celery mugs.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
Just so you guys know, Jusko always says really good things about you when you're not here. And he says things like your fans or the people who come on, they're fun, they're nice, they get my humor.
And knowledgeable.
So
I'm just saying they always know the answers we never seem to know, even the Prince stuff.
And
even
make
the movie
sure
names, Under the Cherry Moon.
Yes. So we love having you here, Jusko. I love having you here. Make sure you do check out the podcast. Jusko, is there anywhere they could see you, and tell them again about your podcast that you're going to have this week?
Well, again, if you want to doze off, the podcast is called The Night Flight. But the Billy Joel A to Z podcast, which is on, we have 2 shows a week. And we have our interview with Dennis Blair coming up on Thursday, who wrote Easy Money. If you care, if you like Rodney Dangerfield, we talk a lot about that. But otherwise, we're having this live show August 18th, and it's on the Billy Joel A to Z, either Twitter or Instagram, where you can log in. It's like $5 a ticket. But Mike Vecchione's going to do comedy. And we have our friend Julian Villari is going to play Allentown. So it's a little weird, but we're going to show some videos and make fun of some video. We're going to make fun of Billy Joel as well because we can't help ourselves. So if you like that kind of stuff, it's good. Otherwise, I don't have any live shows except the first Thursday of the month. I'm at the West Side Comedy Club. It's always
What is your social media so they know where to go?
At Dave Juskow, I think in both Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, and I'll tag it on here.
You.
On the YouTube, so
that
they
would be quite kind.
Follow him.
I mean, on the Instagram, once in a while I get lucky. I put up some really funny videos. I think you've always said they're good.
Yes,
and I mean, they're stupid. They're perfect for me.
And for me, you guys can just thank you, Juskow. No, thank you. For me,
Scooby Doofus.
Oh, for me, this week, if you're in Chicago, I'm gonna be on Windy City Live. They're ending. After 10 years.
What is that? I've heard that show before.
So it's a syndicated, it's in Chicago only. It took over the hour that Oprah used to have in Chicago.
Oh, and yeah. Ending. And you're going to be on the last show or the last week of the show? That's amazing. What an honor.
I'm being celebrated for they're having me on for the month, the comic of the month. And they've had me, whenever I go to Chicago, whenever I come home and I do stand up there, they treat me like family, and they always and that's not true about every radio show or network show in Chicago. True story right here. If you haven't logged off yet, there was a radio station in Chicago, one of my favorites, WGN, and the one where they had Bozo the Clown, which I grew up. Yeah, it was in Chicago
for some reason. I guess he was in New York too.
They said that I wasn't funny on their show and that I was just kind of stale.
Well, you're not as funny as Bozo.
Bozo wasn't there.
What?
It was just though. It was like when you're promoting.
Well, we know how that is. These people don't get comedy if they say that about you. It's ridiculous.
No, you know what it is? Sometimes you do these shows and they expect you to be like, and I'm not like that. So. And everyone has their idea of comedy
like that, or at least in my mind.
I'm subtle. I'm very, very subtle. So I would like them to do their work before they have on a comedian. How about that? Well, but the thing is Windy City Live, which is on ABC in Chicago. This is their last year. It's over, and it's really sad because it's just, I don't know. Just check it out.
Chicago for my first time in October. I've never been there.
Oh, you're going to love it. There's a lot of racist white people there.
I do like that. No, everybody said I'm going to love it.
Very segregated.
Well, it's also a sports town. And
I'm always like, when white people come back from Chicago and they go, Marina, I love your town. I'm like, I know you do. But anyway, I say all that to say this is, if you're in Chicago, check me out on Windy City Live. It's going to be fun. Maybe I'll hit on Ryan on the show again, which I always do. I love to do, even though he's like almost engaged. And you can always go to my website, marinayfranklin.com. I'm going to be in North Carolina in August, Western North Carolina University. So that's a college show.
Marina, but my birthday is on Friday.
So we will be celebrating Juskow's birthday too. This is my exit.
Sorry, I'm going to be 72.
Wow, you aged really well. So anyway, that's it, you guys. This has been great hanging out with you every Saturday. I try to keep it going. Don't want it to stop. Evelyn will be back next Saturday. You guys know what to do. Wear your masks. Wash your hands. Get vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, please still wear the mask. And don't forget, Black Lives Matter. They're still talking about celery juice.
That's the best. Black Lives Matter. Now, this celery stuff you were saying.
All right, guys. Take care.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.